Hey there guys, so this is my new Bissell Spinwave. This is another mop that Bissell makes. It uses these counter-rotating spinning pads. You can see it here on the box. I bought mine from Ollie's. I don't know if you guys have an Ollie's. I think it's more of a regional thing. I don't think that it's a nationwide thing. But basically, it's called Ollie's Bargain Outlet. They often get remanufactured Bissell products. Usually their Hoover and Eureka products are new, but they do get some remanufactured like Han. I think they went out of business, but they do have Han products there. Rug Doctor used to sell some of their products that were also remanufactured there. But this thing, I took a gamble on. Typically, these are like anywhere between 99 to 150 bucks depending on where you buy it from. This was 60. It is remanufactured, but I said, I want to try it. I want to really see. This thing might be really awesome. And there are some concepts that I really like about having a mop like this that really helps. So years ago, Libman and Rubbermaid and O-Cedar all created these basically money-saving Swiffers. You could take the microfiber pad off. You could use your own cleaning solution. You didn't have to buy the Swiffer pads. And the microfiber pads were multi-time or hundreds of times washable. And the replacements were cheaper than even buying like Swiffer replacements. And they were, more economical, better for the environment, and they cleaned better. But you still have to put your back into using them. It's really not a one-handed mop. As soon as the pad gets wet, you've really got to kind of do two hands or two points on the wand or the handle of the machine, or not the machine, the mop. This thing has a motorized soap dispenser, so you just press the button and it goes. It's great for people who have dexterity issues. This is a spot and stain cleaner that they sent me, which is definitely not the correct spray or cleaning. They're supposed to send a multi-surface, but instead they sent me a carpet shampoo, which is fine. I can just use my own cleaner. We have vinyl flooring basically throughout the house, but underneath it is hardwood floors. These hardwood floors here, but that is all vinyl. But there's one rug. This is the biggest rug in the house. There's one other rug in my bedroom, but it's a small area rug. There's still a lot to mop up, but this thing makes it so easy. I know for a fact, because our house is one of them, that many homes, people do not mop certain places in their house. A lot of the time it's bedrooms. They don't mop bedroom floors. And I can understand why. It's just not something that we typically think about doing. It's just one of those cleaning tasks where people are more like, oh, you need to mop kitchens and dining rooms and hallways and entryways and stuff like that. But we don't think about those other places. So I'm really excited to have this. It's going to make it so much easier and so much quicker if it works like it's supposed to. So I'm going to put some soap in this. One thing to mention, you have to recline this machine for it to turn on. I honestly got this out of the box and I'm like, it doesn't even run. Now, it's because I didn't have it reclined. I will say, though, something to keep in mind. The reason I was willing to purchase a remanufactured version of this was because it is, there's no motor in it, there's no filters, nobody could have sucked anything up inside of it, and it starts to stink. Hoses and stuff have that corrugated or the ribbing in it. That is hard to clean, and I'd never tried a Bissell remanufactured product before. I don't know how extreme they get into overhauling a machine to make it remanufactured, but I've seen some great companies do it, like Auric and basically just Auric. I've bought a remanufactured vacuum cleaner from them before, actually two, and they've been in pristine condition. They looked absolutely brand new. They basically were brand new, but cheaper companies that their stuff isn't really made to be replaced or taken apart and new parts be put on, Usually they do not go as extreme. It's basically you get what you get. And, perfect example was that carpet shampoo. Some people wouldn't have even read that, assumed that it was fine, and then would have gotten suds all over the place potentially. So we're going to pop this together, put a little solution in it, and I'm going to try it out. So I have the cleaning solution in it. We use Odaban because that is what is recommended by a lot of these vinyl floor cleaning. Sorry, there's a odd little squirrel right outside our door. But because per the manufacturer, these are Mohawk. Most of the vinyl floor companies tell you to use a neutral pH cleaner because really it's just a thin layer of design that they put over top of these floors. So you really shouldn't use anything that could potentially take the finish off or use something that could ruin your flooring, I guess. So they say to use a neutral pH cleaner. So there's that. So, ooh, it's very nice. It really likes to, it's very easy to run. Very easy to push. It beeps when you dispense cleaning solution. It's kind of different. So one thing that I can say about this already is it pushes easier while it's doing this little rotating, its little action cleaning thing, much easier than just pushing it across the floor. One thing I don't care for is the beeping sound. I think that's kind of silly. You can kind of hear it squirt out, so I don't know why we need the sound effects, but whatever. Maybe it's just so you know to not continue pushing the button if you don't need to. It's very quiet, though. Very, very, very quiet. And really, you're letting the weight of the machine do the work. You're not doing the work at all. So it's kind of weird to get used to that. And I'm sure it'll take a little practice to know, like, well, how long should I spend in an area? Just kind of leave something over the top. My only concern about this is I don't know about stuck on tough messes, like how much it can handle. And of course there's the obvious too, whereas some people, you can't really clean up a spill with a mop like this because it's not really a mop. It doesn't absorb anything except for what it puts down on the floor. That's really the design of it. It's not intended to soak anything up. But the floors are already starting to dry where I've mopped, so that's really convenient. Not too long of a wait time. So this is a little stuck on piece of something here. And I got it. I've got some stuff on the floor here. I planned on picking up today, but I was like, you know what? I want to get this thing out of the box and give it a try. So I'll say, I mean, first off, this thing cleans pretty well. And I want to see what the pad looks like on the bottom. They're really not dirty. That gray is just the pattern, obviously. That's not just... It's gray and white. That's what color the pad is. So, pretty neat, though. I really like it. I was wondering to myself, like, is this going to be something that I buy and then it's kind of gimmicky? I really don't think that this thing's gimmicky at all. I think that it's very smart. It's very convenient to use. I think it does a good job. You might spend a little bit more time pushing it, or not really pushing it, but letting it kind of do its thing and clean the floors compared to if you were mopping. But excuse me, you're not putting any effort into doing the work. You're just kind of guiding it around and letting it clean on its own. So I think that this thing's a keeper. Our floors are usually not dirty at all. It's just adults that live here, no kids. We have 2 indoor cats. They are also not messy. So we have a relatively clean home. And you can see like that area that I just did, which is probably, I don't know, 10 feet by 6 feet. I really use no water. So it's pretty efficient in that sense. So this thing I think is a real winner, but they also told me at Aldi's that if I didn't like this, I could bring it back within 30 days. I mean, the guy told me, I didn't even ask. So that was really nice, and I think that that's super convenient. But this is something that I think people will really enjoy. There's really it's not painstakingly awful to use it, so your house is probably going to be a bit cleaner if you own one of these, because you're going to be more willing to use it and get it out and start cleaning and get underneath stuff, because you don't have to haul out a mop and bucket. You don't have to do anything like that. This thing does everything you need it to do. Nothing on your part. I would like to know if you can leave the solution in the unit. I'd imagine you probably can, but maybe you probably shouldn't do that. And if you're someone who's not going to wash the pad after you're done using it, that's probably not a good idea. But you can buy knockoff pads on Amazon relatively cheap, so I'll probably pick up some of those. If you're looking for something that vacuums and cleans the floors at the same time, definitely go for the Crosswave, but you're going to be spending a heck of a lot more money for that, at least an extra 100 to maybe $150 more. From what I paid, I would have to spend another $200 to get one. So I'm happy with this. I think it's great, especially for the day-to-day, just normal high traffic area cleaning. And the floors are still drying just a bit, but I mean right here it's nice and dry and they're super smooth. So it's getting all these nooks and crannies. This is a textured floor, and it just gets all of it up. So I'm really happy with that. So hopefully I can find some time to do an update video after I've had this for a little while, and drop a comment or a question if you have something to add. Thanks for watching.